Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all doing amazing. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my yogurt and hibiscus Ayurvedic hair mask for extreme moisture and growth. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join the family. I'm going to be using the Greek yogurt, and I'm using the non-fat plain Greek yogurt. I'm using the Chobani brand, but you can use any brand of your choice. I do recommend that you use plain yogurt. I will tell you all the benefits of using yogurts later on in the video. And next I'm going to be using some hibiscus powder. This is an Ayurvedic herb. I've started getting back into using Ayurvedic herbs because they are amazing for hair growth and they're so inexpensive as well, and you can do a bunch of DIYs with them. The next Ayurvedic herb I'm going to be using is fenugreek powder. Now a lot of people know about fenugreek powder. If you do have low porosity hair, then you do have to be cautious with how often you use this because it can dry your hair out. And next I'm going to be using Amla. Now this I believe is the king or queen of Ayurvedic herbs. Like everyone uses Amla powder, so I highly recommend you get this powder. Next I'm going to be using some honey. You guys already know that I absolutely love honey. I cannot do any DIY without using honey. My hair absolutely loves it because I do have low porosity hair, so my hair loves anything that can attract moisture to it. And last and most definitely not the least, I'm using my Ayurvedic infused oil. I do have a video showing you guys I filmed a video showing how I made this, but I haven't edited it yet. But it's basically just olive oil, sweet almond oil, and a bunch of Ayurvedic herbs. So I'm going to be using 1 cup of yogurt. Now you can use half of this, you can use more. It all depends on the the thickness and length of your hair. But 1 cup works perfectly for my hair type. And I'm using 1 heaped tablespoon of hibiscus powder, and then I'm also going to be using about maybe half a tablespoon of fenugreek powder, because like I mentioned, fenugreek kind of dries your hair out if you have low porosity hair, so you do have to use it in moderation. And I was supposed to use 1 tablespoon of Amla powder, but I just kind of like poured it in there, and probably a little too much, but of course like Amla is great for your hair, so it's not really too much, but I wouldn't recommend that you use that much. You can just use only 1 tablespoon and you are good to go. Now this mixture is pretty thick, but my hair loves very thick conditioners, so this isn't a problem for me. However, if you have a problem with thick deep conditioners, then I highly recommend you can do you can either add like aloe vera juice into this, or you can add like half a cup of your favorite conditioner and half a cup of the yogurt, and then that kind of like makes it a little bit more manageable, if that makes sense. But like I said, this works for me. Next I'm going to be adding some honey. I typically don't measure my honey, I just literally squirt a lot of it in there, but for measurement purposes I would say I used about 2 tablespoons, and for the oil I used about 3 tablespoons thereabout. And you basically want to give this a good mix. Now I honestly am not sure if it's safe to use a metal tool to mix this, because I typically would have used plastic or wooden, but I couldn't find anything, so I just used like a metal spoon. There was no reaction, but just to be on the safe side, because when I do my bentonite clay I don't use any metal utensil, so if you can, just use a plastic or a wooden. And this is how she is looking. She looks, why am I saying she? This mixture looks absolutely delicious. Like I just feel like just tasting it, but of course do not taste it. So I let it sit for about an hour whilst I took down my cornrows, just so that the Ayurvedic herbs can like, you know, get infused into the yogurt and all of that goodness. So I highly recommend that you let it sit for a couple of minutes, if not an hour or more, before you apply it to your hair. Now I am applying this mixture on freshly washed shampooed hair. I haven't conditioned my hair yet. I just use some aloe vera leaf to do like a scalp treatment. I do have a video on that, you can check that out. And after that I just basically use some shampoo to rinse it out, and that's basically what you're seeing now. So my hair is somewhat dry, so I'm going to be adding some water. I highly recommend that you add some water to your hair because the mask is really thick, so you want to make sure that it just it's kind of easy to apply to your hair, if that makes sense. And you can actually apply this to your scalp scalp, but I didn't really apply much of it to my scalp. I was basically focusing on the length of my hair. However, this is very safe to apply on your scalp. As a matter of fact, most of the benefits are for your scalp. So I didn't want to do too much on my scalp because I already did like an aloe treatment on my scalp. If I didn't do that, then I probably would have added this to my scalp. So let me read some benefits of using yogurt. Now, yogurt eliminates dandruff. It has antifungal properties, and this helps to deeply clean the scalp of any excess oil or dirt that could be causing dandruff. This also helps to soothe the scalp because, of course, dandruff causes itchy scalp. So when you use this on your scalp, then it kind of like relieves that itch that dandruff gives, and it helps to balance out your pH as well. If your hair is like extra greasy or dull, then of course your hair isn't going to grow, and that happens when your pH is off. So yogurt really helps to regulate the pH of your hair and also of your scalp, and it also makes the roots stronger and helps the follicles get the nourishment that they need. Yogurt is a great moisturizer for your hair. Sometimes your hair can get frizzy and unmanageable, but when you use yogurt, it definitely helps to like helps your detangling process to be easier, if that makes sense. I didn't have to use any combs. As you can see, I was basically just using my hands to detangle. If you do like to use natural conditioners, then yogurt should definitely be at the top of your list because yogurt acts as a natural conditioner for your hair, and it makes your hair smooth, shiny, and also very glossy. Now, hibiscus actually has a whole lot of similarities to yogurt in terms of the benefits and properties. So hibiscus also strengthens the roots of your hair. The hibiscus flower and leaves contain amino acids, and amino acids trigger the keratin production in the cells of your hair follicles, which of course encourages growth. Hibiscus protects your scalp from external damage. Hibiscus is basically like a sunscreen, if that makes sense. It prevents your hair from UVB rays, which of course could cause your hair to be extra oily, could cause buildup, dandruff, and just make your hair very brittle. Of course, it prevents dandruff like I mentioned, and it also deeply conditions your hair just like yogurt. Now, Amla is packed with so many benefits. You can do a hibiscus and Amla hair mask. You can just, that's why I love Ayurvedic herbs, because you can literally just mix 2 or 3 different herbs together and have yourself a mask. But Amla is very rich in vitamin C minerals, which in turn strengthens your hair follicles and promotes thicker and stronger hair. It also helps to strengthen the roots of your hair. So I absolutely love Amla. There's so many other benefits, but just when you think of Amla, just think of strengthening, just think of strength. Like, it strengthens your strands, it strengthens your hair, and all of that goodness. Fenugreek as well also helps to treat dandruff and also strengthen the roots of your hair. Like I mentioned, I love fenugreek. Like, it has a whole bunch of benefits, but when you have low porosity hair, I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I use too much fenugreek, it just kind of makes my hair feel kind of dry. So whenever I do any hair mask, I try not to use too much fenugreek. I don't do fenugreek only hair mask. I know a lot of people swear by it, but I try to use fenugreek in moderation, if that makes sense. So please make sure you do your research before using any of these herbs, but for the most part, I don't think you'll react to it because they're all like natural herbs and all of that. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. And then once I was done, I wrapped my hair in a plastic bag, and I believe I let this sit for about 1 hour. I didn't use a steamer cap or anything. I just wrapped it around and just let the natural heat open up my hair follicles. And then once I was done, I went ahead to rinse it off with some lukewarm water, and I followed up with my conditioner, and that was basically it, guys. My hair felt super soft, super shiny, super bouncy and strengthened, and also super duper moisturized. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also like this video. I hope to see you in my next one. God bless. Bye, guys.